Hey everybody, I'm Helen. Welcome to today's class. Today we'll be doing an energizing flow to work on our strength. You may need a couple of blocks. We'll begin in a standing position. You stand at the top of your mat, bringing the feet directly underneath the hips. Shoulders come up to the ears, back and down. Lengthen in the spine, crown to the sky. Pelvis is neutral. Imagine it's a bowl of water and you're holding that water in the center of your body. Close the windows of the eyes. And turn the arrows of attention inward. Thank yourself for coming to the mat today. And if it feels right for you, you can set an intention for this practice. An intention that's personal to you. And something that you can connect with as you move through the class. Embrace this stillness. Notice the effect it has on you. Not just on the body, but on the mind. It feels so good to just calm ourselves down, not have anything stimulating us, like looking at a screen. Enjoying the sanctuary of the mat. The mat is always a place we can come to when we need some me time. Take another breath. Deep inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Nice cleansing breath. And with a soft gaze, slowly open the eyes. Starting at the top of the mat. Grounding down into the earth. On an inhale, palms lift up to the sky, full body stretch. Descending the shoulder blades. And then exhale, bring the arms down as if you're moving through treacle. Again, inhale, palms to the sky, full body stretch. Elongation of the spine. And arms coming down through treacle. One more time. Inhale, lift the arms to the sky. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And exhale, bring the arms down. On an inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. Circle the left wrist with the right fingertips. Bring the left leg behind the right and lean over into a side bend. Feeling the stretch all down the side body on the left side. Breathing deep. You can keep the head facing forward or look down, whatever feels good on your neck. And we'll come back to neutral, over to the other side. On an inhale, arms come up. We come into this beautiful side stretch. Reaching out the waist, maybe using this left hand to pull the right arm a little bit longer. Breathing deep. Then inhale, come back to center. On an inhale, palms come up to the sky. And as you exhale, tipping forward from the hip crease, maybe bending the knees as we're only just warming up. And bring the hands down to the earth. Allow the belly to lay on the thighs. Release the head and neck. Maybe shake the head a little, yes and no, left and right. Allowing gravity to release the cervical spine. And place the left hand directly underneath the chest, bending the left leg, straightening the right, and we'll open up in this side twist round to the sky. Imagine you're pulling the right hip back and you're lengthening the side waist. And exhale, release down the other side, bending the right knee, straightening the left. Reaching this left arm up to the sky, shoulders are down the back, left hip is pulling back, feeling the length in the left side waist. And exhale, come back down. Pause a moment in this forward fold with the belly draped on the thighs. And on an inhale, we'll slowly come all the way up, bringing the palms up, then cactus in the arms and opening the chest for this spinal extension, opening the throat to the sky. Looking up, opening the chest, feels so good to stretch out the front body. And then bring the palms to the chest. Excellent. On an inhale, palms come up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift out of the waist. And exhale, plant the hands and step back to plank. We'll hold here for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, doming the upper back, front body all engaged. And 5, pushing the hips back to our first downward facing dog. Hands are around shoulder width, grounding into the base of the knuckles, starting to pedal out the feet, opening the backs of the legs, getting into the calves and the backs of the knees, the hamstrings, the glutes, lengthening the spine, creating space around the neck. And then start to settle. On an inhale, right leg lifts to the sky, lengthening out of that hip socket. Exhale, step forward, coming into this low lunge. We'll bring the back knee down. Inhale, torso comes up. Descending into the hips, pulling the right hip back, left hip forward. And the right hand comes down to the mat or to a block, depending how long your arms are, and lean over in the side bend. Breathing deep. Left fingertips pointing towards the right side. Then inhale, we'll come back up. Plant the hands, lift the back knee, downward facing dog. Side B. Left leg reaches to the sky, out of the hips. As you exhale, step forward into this low lunge, descend the back knee. We come up, arms to the sky, front ribs engaged, pulling the left hip back, right hip forward, getting into this psoas on the right side here. Then we'll lean over to the left. You may need a block. Into this side stretch, open in the right waist, feeling that lateral stretch of the spine, feels so good. And inhale, come back up, plant the hands, lift the back knee, downward facing dog. Take a free breath. On an inhale, we'll rock forward to plank again, 5 breaths, doming the upper back. Legs are straight and strong. Shoulders above the wrists. Maybe slightly in front. Keeping the belly engaged. Keeping the mind quiet. And back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts to the sky. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale, back up. And exhale, right foot steps forward. And on an inhale, we come all the way up to high lunge. Pushing that back heel into an imaginary wall. 5 breaths here. Building strength in the legs. Even breathing. Then plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Second side, left leg lifts to the sky. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale, back up. Step forward, coming into this low lunge. Engage the front spine. We come up, high lunge. Hold here, breathing deep. 1, 2, check in with trapezius muscles at the tops of the shoulders. Are they descending? Space around the neck. Breaths deep and even. And plant the hands. Step back, downward facing dog. Rock forward to plank. We can take a vinyasa. You can drop the knees or do a chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a free breath. Moving on. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, right foot steps forward. Inhale, come up into a high lunge. One breath here. Then arms to a T. We'll rotate towards this bent leg. Hand comes on the back thigh. Twisted, reverse high lunge. Leaning back, stretching the side waist. And the transition from here will be into a prayer twist. So first of all, we come back up. Hands come to the chest. Lift this left elbow. Hook it outside the right thigh. Lengthen the spine and rotate. Breathing deep. You can always put the back knee down. And we rotate back to the midline. Come back up. Take a vinyasa. Move straight to dog. If you like, you can do a double dip. So coming up to upward facing dog. Back to chaturanga. Plank. Downward facing dog. Side B. Left leg lifts to the sky. Exhale, left foot steps up. High lunge. Taking a breath here. Then arms to a T. Rotate to the left. Left hand on the back of the right thigh. Reverse, twisted lunge. Breathing deep. And inhale, return to high lunge. Palms to the chest. Lengthen out the spine. Right elbow hooks on the outside of the left knee. Lengthen that spine and then rotate. Trying to keep the hips parallel to the earth. Back leg straight and strong. Breathing is equal. Mind is calm. Then we'll return to neutral. Take a vinyasa or go straight to downward facing dog. If you like, double dip. And we will meet in dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step up. Come up, high lunge. Reverse lunge twist. One breath. Back to the midline. Palms to chest. Twisted lunge. Prayer twist. Lengthening that spine, rotating the torso. Come back to the midline, back up and open out into warrior two. Taking a breath. Inhale, flip the front palm, reverse the warrior. Keeping a bend in that front knee. We come up, come down, vinyasa. Optional double dip. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts to the sky. Step up. High lunge. Reverse lunge twist. Back to the midline. Prayer twist. to the midline. Warrior two. Making sure this back hip is not hitched up. Reverse the warrior. Front knee remains bent. Cartwheel down. Vinyasa. Or meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right foot steps up. High lunge. Reverse twisted lunge. High lunge. Prayer twist. High lunge. Warrior two. Reverse warrior. This time straighten the front leg. We come into reverse triangle. Come up to come back up, moving into triangle. So you might want to shorten the stance, reaching out of the waist. Coming down, maybe use a block, or the hand goes to the floor. Stacking the shoulders. Lengthening the right side of the waist, breathing deep, head looks anywhere that feels okay on the neck, stacking the shoulders, externally rotating that front thigh, then using this top arm, pull yourself back up, Vinyasa. Optional double dip. Side B, left leg to the sky. Step up, high lunge. Reverse twist. High lunge. Prayer twist. High lunge. Warrior two. Reverse the warrior. Straighten the front leg, reverse triangle. Torso comes up for triangle. Maybe shorten the stance, reaching out of the waist. Hand comes down wherever is good. Lengthening the left side waist, stacking the shoulders, breathing deep. Externally rotating that front thigh, grounding down into the left big toe mound. Right arch is active. And using the strength of the right hand, pull yourself back up. Vinyasa. Maybe double dip. Downward facing dog. Take a free breath. Then inhale, roll forward to plank. Grounding down into the left hand, we roll over on to the blade of the left foot. Come into a side plank, stacking the shoulders. You can always stagger or bring this knee down, whatever version is good for you. If you like, you can lift the top leg, hold here, engaging all the left side obliques, and keeping this leg lifted if you have it. Come back to a plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, double dip, Downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank. Side plank to the right. Get your version. Steady breath. Steady mind. Embracing sthira, steadiness, and sukha, ease. Never sacrificing the posture for the breath. And if you have the top leg lifted, keep it up. A one-legged chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Double dip. Downward facing dog. Taking a breath. And look to the front of the mat. Bend the knees. Jump or step up. And come into this little squat on the heels. Bringing the palms to the chest. Zipping the legs together. Breathing. Maybe closing the eyes. I'm going to attempt it. I don't know if I'll stay. It's a whole nother ball game with the eyes closed. From here, we'll try side crow. I haven't practiced this in a while, so we'll see how it goes. Come to the left side of the mat and come back into this little toe stand. First of all, we'll start with the hands at the chest, bringing this right arm behind and extending up to the sky. Reaching out of the waist and coming back up. We rotate around and the hands are planted directly underneath the shoulders. Think about stacking the joints. There's two ways to do this. One where the right hip is on the right upper arm, and the other where all the weight is just on the left arm. I actually find it easier to do the one with just the left arm. Make sure the wrist creases are parallel to the edge of the mat and start to lean forward. Bringing these forearms vertical, stacking the elbows above the wrists, and maybe you can lift the weight, your feet off the floor. Come back down. Whatever you did, be pleased with yourself. Shake it out. If you did the version that I just did with just one leg, try it with the hip and the side and see how it feels. So again, hands underneath the shoulders. This time this right hip comes on the back of the arm and we come up. So your body is like a seesaw. You need to come forward like a fulcrum to enable the weight to come off. Come back down. Straighten the legs. Shake out the wrists. Shake out the hips. Let go of the result. Remember, it is not the tick marks of success, but it's what we learn about ourselves along the way. So if you didn't achieve it, no worries. All that matters is that you tried. And next time you try again, and you again and again. Maybe one day you get it, maybe you don't. It doesn't matter. I'm going to face this way for the other side. First of all, coming down into this little ball, balancing. And the left hand comes behind, right arm up to the sky, stretching out the waist. And then we bring it down. So we're twisting here. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Remember, we want to stack those joints. I'm going to start with just the one leg on the arm. Start to bring your weight forward, and maybe the feet come up. Breathing. Engage in the core. And then come back down. Shake it out. And let's try the other one. This time, this left hip will come on the back of the left arm. Remember, we want the forearms vertical, the elbows stacked above the wrists. That gives us the most stable base. Coming forward like a seesaw. Breathing. Straighten the legs and shake it out. Now, if you've got a fear of falling forward, just place a couple of pillows in front of you. You're not that far off the ground. We'll come to the top of the mat and do a vinyasa to wipe the slate clean. Inhale, palms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Maybe a double dip. And back to downward facing dog. Now you see why we did all the double dips. Building strength in the arms. Bring the knees down as wide as the mat. Big toes touching. We'll come into pose of a child. Maybe stacking the fists. Releasing the forehead. Reconnecting with the breath. Practicing non-attachment. When I first started practicing yoga, I saw those arm balances or those deep hip openers. I never thought I would ever achieve them because my body was so tight and stiff. But with consistent practice and non-attachment, you just keep trying every time you come to your mat. And gradually the body opens, your strength builds. Anytime you see somebody doing a pose effortlessly, know that that is not the first time they did it. Repetition is the mother of all mastery. Just keep plugging away. Then from here we'll slowly come up and bring the seat down. Come into a wide-legged forward fold. So bring the legs out in this wide V shape to a distance that's comfortable for you. Sitting directly on the hip bones, lengthening the waist. If you have a block, it might come in handy. Then folding from this hip crease, keeping the spine long and straight. Come forward as much as you can. When you can't go any more with this straight spine, pause there. Your hands might be on the earth. Your elbows might be on a block. Toes are pointing to the sky and the backs of the legs are grounded into the earth. Breathing deep. Shoulders are relaxed. And as you surrender and release and dissolve, maybe you get a little bit deeper. Bringing the nervous system down after that activity. Establishing equilibrium in the body. And very gently, slowly come back up. Take a breath here, pause a moment. Notice how the whole body feels. And then swing this leg round, facing the top of the mat again. Feet come to the floor, in with the knees to the sky, and release gently down onto the back. Bringing the feet underneath the hips, palms flat to the earth, and on an inhale, lifting the pelvis up to the sky. into a bridge. Great counter pose for the forward fold, and also for all that stepping forward we did in the lunges. Opening the fronts of the hips here and releasing the psoas. Imagine your tailbone is going towards the back of the knees, and keeping the upper back wide. Easy breaths. Then release the hips gently down. Bring the knees above the hips into tabletop. Then cross the right leg over the top of the left into a half eagle. Maybe you can do the 4 eagle wrap, bringing the right foot behind the left ankle. Arms come out to cactus, and then allow these legs to fall over to the left side of the mat. Lift the head, turn it mid-air, look over the right shoulder if that feels good. Oh, this is such a nice stretch for the right side body. I have no idea what that bird is. It's very vocal. Sounds like a car alarm. Inhale, come back to the midline. Unravel the legs, re-ravel them the other way. And then allow them to fall over to the right side of the mat. Left shoulder remains planted. Maybe lift the head mid-air, turn it, look over the left shoulder. Bring the legs back to the midline, unravel them, give yourself a little squeeze. Then when you're ready, release the feet out one by one, and we come into Savasana. Allow them to flop open, palms to the sky, shoulders are down the back. The back of the neck is long with the chin slightly tucked. The windows of the eyes are closed. The arrows of attention are turned inward. Everything dissolving into the earth. Savasana. Start to bring your awareness to the furthest away sound that you can hear. And then to the closest sound. Start to wiggle the fingers and toes, maybe opening and closing the hands, scrunching the feet and then spreading the toes as wide as you can. And bring the legs together. Arms come overhead, interlace the fingers, turn the palms inside out, full body stretch. Hands away from the toes as long as possible. And gently bring the knees in, one by one. Roll over onto your favorite side. Bringing the hands together like a pillow at the cheek. Taking a moment to pause here. Enjoying the last moments on your mat. Then when you're ready, with the eyes closed, gently come up to a comfortable seat. We'll bring the Hands face down on the knees to represent grounding, tall spine. Move into the advanced version of this posture by lifting the corners of the mouth into a sweet smile. Basking in all that great energy that you've created, all that positive energy. Enjoying this feeling of a yoga glow. Bring the palms to the chest, thumbs into the sternum. And raise the palms to the third eye, then to the lips, and back to the heart. Thank you for practicing with me today, and I will see you again soon. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that class. If you are watching this before Christmas Day 2024, it's not too late to sign up for my 12 Days of Christmas Calm Somatics in the Sunshine series right here on YouTube. Every single day from the 25th of December until the 5th of January, there will be a 5 to 7 minute somatic practice where we get deep into the body, deep into the tissues, feeling how we feel. It really helps release stored stress and tension and even stored trauma. It's suitable for beginners. You don't need any previous experience. If you sign up, you'll get an email every day with a link to that day's video, a 12 Days of Christmas Calm Goodwill calendar where there's a little goodwill task on there for you to do every day, because science has shown that when we do kind acts for other people, we receive the same benefit back in our brain. So it's really great for your well-being. And there's also a special prize draw to win a well-being gift. So if you complete all 12 days, then I'll enter you into a prize draw and you can win something special to celebrate you. The link is under this video, and I really hope you can join me. Thank you.